The next question is from Murad Akim. He says, peace be upon you. No matter how brave I try to be, I have a very cowardly soul. I cannot get used to dangers and I'm afraid. Is there a reason for this? Is there a solution?
So fear is not one of the qualities of the Bani Hashim. It's not one of the qualities of the prophets and the messengers, and it's not one of the qualities of the believers. At least it's not supposed to be. Okay?
Yes.
And the narrations from Muhammad and the family of Muhammad alayhi salam make it perfectly clear that if a person only fears Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that God makes everything else fear him. And if anybody fears anything other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes him afraid of all things. And so this individual, if he's struggling with fear of all things, then obviously he needs to go back to fearing only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And my advice to him, or the solution that I would offer him, is the solution that Ahmed al-Hasan alayhi salam gave me a very long time ago when I started my journey with him. He said to me, son, whenever you face something that you feel fear from, right? Whenever you encounter something that you feel any sort of fear from, face it immediately. Walk straight up to it. If you're facing a demon or a monster, walk up and stand in its face. And by that, you will overcome all fear. Nothing can harm you except by the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so long as the believer is aware of that nothing can harm them except through God, that there is no power nor might except through God, the believer can be at peace. Because if anything does happen to him that's bad, then it wasn't bad. It was something that God had allowed to happen, and he allowed to happen for a particular wisdom, not to punish the believer, but out of an attempt to raise the believer in ranks or to test the believer. And the believer should always be at peace with anything that comes from God. Other than that, nobody can harm you. And you should see all of the armies in the world and all of the demons in the world and all of the threats in the world in the same way that Moses saw Pharaoh. And the narrations from Muhammad and the family of Muhammad state that in the eyes of Moses, Pharaoh was nothing more than a fly. That's what Moses saw Pharaoh as and what he perceived him as. And a fly does no harm. The only thing that it can do is be a little bit annoying. And so consider all these things that you're afraid of to just be annoyances in life, and march forward and do not be afraid. God is with the believers. And if God is with us, who can harm us?